Oh, hey, welcome back to Schwartzy Plays Go. And that's what we do. We play Go. And I'm Schwartzy, so let's get into it. We pulled this game out of the archives. It's a real fun one because it's hyper aggressive. Both of us get aggressive in this game. I'm playing as black, 11Q, up against white, 13Q. Let's get into it. This is from about a year ago, but it's a fun game, and we'll see white get aggressive right off the bat. Not terribly aggressive, right? I got a nice little group started here in the middle, started to take that corner, and white has thrown in, but he's got lots of room to do that. So, but we give him a little pincer move, and right away, like my corner feels pretty solid, and have a nice little framework here in the middle. So white feels like he's at a disadvantage. He's gonna have to run out this way, and that's kind of the theme of this whole game. Is just these throw-ins and these pinches and just running, and there's lots of battles in this game. So. Threatened to cut white off there. Threatened to box him in. He's trying to get out. So he's formed up what looks to be potentially one eye up here. He can potentially get one, but he's still got to run. Meanwhile, I've kind of strengthened my corner. It needs a little bit more work. And this feels much better now too. I have the start of an eye here, an eye here. Maybe I can get one in here somewhere. So we're in good shape, it seems like, up there. Protect the corner, sure. White puts me into Atari, we back off, puts me into Atari here, or sorry, not Atari, but he's forcing it. But I like to slide down this way. Like, I would be willing to take this. If he's running this way, I would run with him the whole length of this side of the board just to capture all this, right? So as long as he wanted to do that, we play along. But white has shifted gears over to the left-hand upper corner, starting a nice little framework. The opening, or I should say the corner is still opening. The corner is still open there. We can jump in there, so we'll keep that in our back pocket at the 3-3. I like that play. Solidify our corner, put him into Atari, so we get a free move there. And there we go. We talk about sliding down the right-hand side. We do more of that with a decent jump. It could have been maybe bigger, but white did show that he's willing to jump in up here. So we don't want probably too big of a gap here because white will probably do the same thing, right? And just if there's enough space, white will jump in. So I like that. I think that's just far enough. Maybe could have been up a line actually. I think it could have been on the Q line. That might have been better. But we'll see. Bit of a safe move, but we also, we capture a decent amount of territory with that, and we continue our influence pushing down the right-hand side of the board. Even with that semi-conservative move, white feels willing to jump right in there. So, okay, that's hyper-aggressive. Up here wasn't like, it was aggressive, but it wasn't hyper-aggressive. This is hyper-aggressive. He's basically jumped in behind the outline of my territory. If you link up my stones, like that's kind of what I've captured. He's behind enemy lines right now, and you don't want to be there usually. So that's very aggressive. What would we do next here? I quickly played through this. I don't exactly know what happens next, so just to get the gist of this, but we probably want to try and capture that, right? Like I'd say you want to play maybe here or here, something like that, because he's already behind enemy territory. The chances of him living not great. I think we maybe attack that stone. Sure enough, we do just that. White responds, sliding out. Sure. So we've realized, okay, like he's just going to ladder all the way across the board. Maybe I was going to say maybe I could ladder him across, but there's no point because he's got liberties up here, right? So there's no point in just like, forcing him along this path all the way down here. I can't kill him off, so we'll leave it at that. But then a big move here. Looks like I'm starting to form up a wall here. That's what I'm showing. So it'd be nice to have a similar thing down here. I'm expecting white to respond and protect his corner, to play there to kind of form up a shape like this. And that gives me the next move, in theory, to like throw in the middle, something like that. And all of a sudden, with like two moves, we've captured a ton of space. So that's what we're going for. White responds accordingly. See there? Yeah. So I knew this happened. I knew that white jumped in here just playing through this a few minutes ago. Again, aggressive play. Not hyper-aggressive because there is lots of space in there, but certainly an aggressive move. And I could have maybe foregone this play to play there myself, but is what it is. Too late now. White, again, though, in a rough position. Like, if we sort of trace what might be my territory, he's behind enemy lines again. So he's got a vulnerable group here, and he's got a vulnerable group here. Spit that out. But on the flip side, my group of 2 is also in kind of rough shape, right? If he strengthens up here and he strengthens up here, all of a sudden, I'm the one that's caught in the middle and might be at risk. So keep an eye on that. A little sip of coffee. So we're going to support that group. I like this. We're supporting this group of 2 by playing here. We're just giving us a little bit more of a framework, but we're also threatening this stone, right? We're threatening to box him in. So White's probably got to respond. Gives us another free play. And that feels better now, right? He's still certainly a danger with these 3, and now this 3, but I feel a little bit safer in here. Maybe I could slide underneath this way. I can jump over the top this way. I can jump over the top this way. Link up with either one of these groups, but it doesn't feel like I'm in a lot of trouble. White strengthens up a little bit there, sure. So now there's a lot going on this right-hand side of the board, right? We've sort of splintered our groups into multiple groups. So in terms of White, he's got this group of 3 still that he hasn't supported in quite a while. He's got a small group here he's out. He can definitely run this way, but he's only got 1 eye, potentially. And then down here, he's probably fine. And then on the flip side, I have the upper right-hand corner, which feels quite safe. Excuse me, I don't have this wall in place yet, so he can certainly sort of push into that. Not settled, but I'd say that's safe. We have this group here, which currently only has 1 eye, and potentially is in trouble now, because it looks like we could be blocked off this way, so we might have to get out this way if we don't manage to get out this way. So, or kill off those 3, I guess, but that little group, and then kind of the exact same shape down here, 1 less stone, again, only 1 eye, kind of getting boxed in. So it's interesting that his group here that we sort of thought was in trouble, the more that he pushes out, the more he's kind of also, he's getting like a 3-for-1. He's getting a defensive play by getting out, but then he's also boxing in this group and also boxing in this group. So those 2 are worth keeping an eye on because they are potentially in danger. Anyway, spiel complete. Let's move on. All right, so we're going to threaten this corner now. I like that. It's helping my group, threatening his group. White, feeling confident, just jumps into the middle of nowhere. This is a crazy play. Looking at it now, what is he trying to do here? I'm not sure. Maybe was that even like a misclick? I don't know. Because he's got groups that are in trouble or potentially in trouble, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe he's kind of playing a backstop and giving him something to run to. I don't know. That's an interesting play. We'll see if he sort of supports that stone here with his next play. Push over to the right. That feels super conservative. I probably could have been more aggressive with something there. I'm not sure what, but because I think that was a misplay by White. I could have taken advantage, maybe gone 1 more line over. Probably would have been better to go here on the F line. It just pushes further this way, and White probably wouldn't have jumped in there with only 2 lines open. So interesting 2 moves. I don't know. White then completely switches gears. Yeah, I wonder if that was a mistake. I don't know. And starts attacking my group in the corner again. Sure. Getting a little shape, but now White, again, ultra aggressive. Jumps in. He can run this way, but he can also run up this way. So he's threatening this cutting point, so I think I have to respond. I don't. Threaten to box him in. Because we can, smart. I can take him all the way across here. That definitely worked out in my favor. I'm going to get that kill, I think. Yep. With that, White got ultra aggressive down here, but now guess what? I'm going to get an eye in here, and I have another eye either here or here. So I think we're safe. Not fully settled again yet, and I have been, put into troublesome situations in the past where it's not settled. I think I have 2 eyes, and my opponent does a good job of getting rid of them. So keep an eye on that. It's not fully alive, but I think I can live down here now. I'm not as worried. And the flip side of that is, I mean, I still have this group to think about, but that puts his group at a little bit more, in a little bit more danger, right? Because there's a cutting point here with an Atari. He's only got the one eye still, so he's not living here yet. So we can definitely put the pressure on that group. He does link up, sure. We finally support this little group up here. That's a nice 2-for-1. We're supporting our group and also threatening that group of 3. Love that. Not a big deal for white to push through, and that just gives him lots of options, right? I'm not going to box him in here. I'm not going to contain him. He's just got so many directions he can go now that it's kind of not even worth attacking. It's probably more important to seal him up over on this side, just so that I get that corner and then also link up this group, right, to make that 100% safe. And there we go. That's the start of that. I'm trying to stop him this way, but also make this connection vertically. So white doesn't want that to happen. He jumps way in, sure. Threaten to cut, sure. He links up. Take our play. Yeah, he has cut me off now, but I don't think we're going to connect through here. But I have an eye here, at least one, and it looks like I get an eye down here now. I've extended up this way far enough that I'll get my 2 eyes, and I think I'm safe over here. So again, I don't think we need to worry. Got to play it out still, but yeah, that feels fine. And also I can still run out now this way. Because now keep an eye on this group. I have managed to start to contain him a little bit. And he's only got one eye still, so we can still attack that. Down near the bottom now, we switch gears. We can move ahead pretty quick through this section, box it up. Sure, we're attacking in there. Pushing it this way. This group's totally safe, so we have lots of sort of force to push it this way. Lots of, we can exert our strength a little bit. What's left, really? I mean, we got the left-hand side of the board wide open. There's a few big moves. It wouldn't be surprising now if white, I don't know, he still sort of needs to support this and also support this. So I could see him focusing in the middle still here. If he can link those 2 up, then they'll be fine. Which would leave me then free to take a couple moves along here and really make a dent, which would be great. White kind of strengthens up in the middle. Sure, pushing the corner. Sure, I should be taking, like, these are small moves. I should be taking something up here at this point. Instead of attacking those 2, I think it's more prudent to throw in there at D10, the last big point left in the game. I don't know what this is going to do. Also, I've carried this out way too far. A couple moves ago, I could have played right here and guaranteed a kill of these 2. There we go. I was a move late on that, or maybe 2 moves late on that. That actually did work out. I do get the big play up here, plus I did get a small kill up here. So this turned into a huge chunk of territory. That's a nice win. Killing off those 2 and getting that extra long run up here. Whoo-hoo. This just caps it off. It strengthens up this whole border right there. Otherwise, that was pretty open. Like white could really scoop in there. So, all right. So what's next for white? I suspect again he's got to focus on this a little bit just to make sure his 2 groups here and here live. Although this one probably safe now. He's got one play here. We can link up and connect to this larger group down at the bottom, and then he's totally safe. And there's a good chance this group here can kind of link up as well. So he's probably safe there. Oh, hyper aggressive. White completely ignores those and jumps in behind enemy territory again. Wow. Shout out to white. Yulintang. Hyper aggressive. I mean, if you can pull it off, I like it. I actually forget how the game ends. I didn't check the score at the end. So I'm not sure which way this goes. But we're going to attack that stone. If you jump in behind enemy territory like that, and potentially waste a move. I'm going to try and kill it, right? I don't want you to live in there, so done a good job of capping him so far. Definitely attacking. There's a chance he can kill off these 4 here if it doesn't go well. He's getting liberties. Yeah, so what's this guy? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liberties, and my group really, he can put me into Atari with 1 play here or 1 play here, so I'm probably dead now, I think, here. So he really actually did scoop. Whoops. Whoops. Oh no, what happened? I went to the end. Don't check the score. Don't look. Don't cheat. Where are we at? Back it up, back it up. There we go. We are here. And I totally lost my train of thought. That threw me off. White's going to kill me off here. He really did scoop out a big chunk. I thought I had done a nice job blocking that. Forming a nice little barrier there, but that didn't happen, and he scooped it out exactly like we didn't want him to do. Now we're shifting focus to the middle. This is a pretty close game. I feel like after that play, White is probably ahead. I think White likely has the advantage. He did a decent job throwing in here. Like every time he's thrown in, it's been a little dodgy, but I haven't killed him off. He's lived every time, so he's doing a pretty good job of surviving. Okay, this I like because the middle of the board is kind of wide open, but White's showing the potential to box that up. But by throwing in there, I mean, I have 3 ways to jump out. I can connect this way, I can connect this way, I can connect this way. Maybe 4, maybe I can connect this way, but realistically 3. Still 3, even with that, so we'll attack that stone. Sure, just gives me some options. Just sometimes you just want to cause a little chaos. I don't want White to circle that up and capture it all for himself. I'm not necessarily going to win a lot of territory myself in there, but just being in there, weaseling my way into the edges and the corners and just taking away territory from my opponent, as opposed to trying to sort of get it from myself. That's more taking it away. And I think that's a good distinction sometimes. Okay, what are we doing up here? We have now, I'm just going to back it up a couple there. White's trying to connect here. Notice what, look at this. Look at this connection that White's trying to make. We've officially cut White off. It's worth noting this group now cut off. Maybe he can get through here, but I don't think so. And he's only got 1 eye. We can attack that for sure. That's a nice play. We link up with that stone, sure. So we're in good shape. He's only got 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. But keep an eye on this group of mine. This is sort of my cutting group. And now with this play right here, White's trying to circle up and he's trying to kill off my little group here, because if he does that, he reconnects to this group and he's going to live, right? So White is attacking this group. It's not super obvious with this play, but it's exactly what he's trying to do. Because again, he's got 4 liberties. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. If he can win this liberty battle, I can add some by linking up to this stone and this stone, but if he makes this connection, keep an eye on that. That's nice because it gives us an extra couple liberties. He blocks, sure. And now we go on to the attack. It's like, all right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 still. He's down to 1, 2, 3. We're ahead. We just took 1 away there. White jumps in. That, I think, is a mistake. We should have carried on with actually, maybe not. Because if White were to play here with his next move, like say I played here, he's still down to 2, he's not Atari yet. White could play here, put me into Atari here. I have to link up here. Then he plays here with his next move and kills me off, and then all of a sudden he's fine. Okay, so I had to do something up here. I couldn't not respond to this stone. So that's a really good play on White's part to force something up here. I can't allow this 1 stone into Atari. Maybe I should have linked him up sooner. Oof. Might have made a mistake in there. I think I could have played this a little differently. White links up, sure. I put him into Atari. Yeah, this gets a little crazy because I don't want him to go here. Then I'm in double Atari and he's just going to take me. But I can put him into Atari. He's got to link up. Yeah, I'm already behind at this point. I take away a Liberty here. He's still got 2. Sorry, then I miscounted before. I thought he was down to 2, and I just took one away, and he's at 2. So he must have had 3. Which means he's probably going to kill these stones off before I kill him off. Puts me into Atari. I go for an Atari there. Yeah, I'm just grasping at straws, trying to kill this group here. I think if I had played that differently in here, I think I could have either killed this group off or killed this group off, or potentially both, which would have been huge. We get the... Yeah, this was a nice play to salvage something. But it's not going to be enough because now I get a little kill. White takes the kill in there. All of a sudden, he's guaranteed to be safe here. This is all one big group, so the sort of killing spree is over. And now we're getting into more endgame type stuff. But there's still, like, I'm just going to back up. Look at that. Like, that's so aggressive. What's he going to do? Jump in there? I don't know. I'm going to kill that stone off, I think. Link up, sure. But I know I'm behind at this point. White got a nice kill, so I throw in. I like doing this. If the corner's open, I'm going to throw into the 3-3 and see if you know how to defend it. And in this case, he does not. And we live. So that's a nice little swing, right? I love having that in my back pocket. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. It's 14 points for myself. So that's a 28-point swing right there. So that's helpful, especially when I think I'm behind. I have to be behind in this game. So we can kind of fly through the rest here. I get killed off down there. Yeah, this is basically over. We're fighting over the last few scraps. We both pass. Estimated score, White by 4. Yikes, that was a close game. We almost fought it back with this corner. Unbelievable. And White's throw-ins, his little gambles, they paid off, right? He had one down at the bottom somewhere. He had one up here, or up here, I should say. And he threw in over here. He just like 3 or 4 times threw in behind enemy lines, and ultimately it paid off for him. Pretty impressive. Especially when on paper he was the weaker opponent. And he ended up squeaking out a fun, aggressive Battlefield game. So anyway, we can end it there. Thanks for watching. That's a fun game. If you're learning the game of Go or just enjoy it, give a subscribe. That's all we do. We play Go. Break down these games. We'll do some commentary. Gonna start doing more live games and some potentially live streams with some other folks as well. So keep an eye out for that, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Let's go.